can take to a SBA can take to an SBA loan officer and get the business funded with its own cash flow or assets. So
Okay, that's good because every SBA loan is still going to require you to have skin in the game. So that is real good. I'm glad you put that out there.
They do 90%. They do 90% for the SBA 7A.
Yeah, they're gonna. You hit it right on the head. So with that said, that 10% plus whatever closing fees they have has to be sourced from your money. So from that one house that you sold and you added $50,000. So far we've set $7,500 apart aside from sale. We set $15,000 to reinvest, to sit it in the bank until we have enough to build our own houses. And then from that you have $20,000 that's coming to the house to pay for the house. How much do we have left over?
I need my pen and my pad. I'm over here listening.
So we're at 20, so that's 22.5.
So you say starting with 100, right?
That's 22.5, so that's 2,500. Okay, so you would have $7,500 left. So you got $7,500 left to, do other investing, set aside for business. So that's a formula you just created for yourself. Now, other people may have other priorities, but that's yours. And now you have what is called a plan. Now here's the other thing, Henry. You're gonna take that and you're gonna take the percentages of the 50,000, and that's what you're gonna apply to everything you earn. Oh, we only earn 35,000, but you're gonna pull out the same percentages. Oh, so you don't just pull out a flat fee? No, you can't pull out a flat fee.
Right.
You're gonna pull out percentages. Sometimes you take home less because you only earn $20,000. So you can't take out 20 grand. You can only take out that percentage that we created in our initial formula based on the 50. I took the best of time, created a formula for you based on your desires. And that's what you stick to in good times and in bad. When you say good times, if you make 100 grand, you take out the same percentage. If you make 25,000, you take out the same percentage. Some days it's feast, some days it's not. Feast or famine. So that's what you gauge for. At the end of the year, 12 months, you'll be able to determine what your average return has truly been. And then we sit down once again and do the same scenario based off of actual numbers. Now, it's no more guessing then. After about a year of operation, you're going to have a real good idea about how much money you really can make. There's no more projections or, no, I can do better next time. No, we're going to go off of what we actually made. And if over the next 12 months we do better, then we'll adjust at that time. So that's the hard piece about the money part.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right.
And that's the piece that we have to explain to everybody involved. Now, then you say, well, why does it matter to have a collective? Well, we get to that self-financing pretty fast in a collective don't. It's a lot faster to ramp up for one house. If we have 5 people setting aside funds to cover one house, and then those 5 people that set aside funds for the next house, they borrow from that money, being clear with everyone. We're setting the system up the same way so that the money that we're borrowing from ourselves, it makes money.
So if you don't mind me asking,
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of reverse the question a little bit, because I know you're a very sharp brother. What do you plan on doing? Like, what is your plan with the proceeds from the net
My,
proceeds?
my plan is exactly your plan with the less the investing in the business. It's the exact plan. I would be taking more of my money, setting it up for future lending, because my desire is to have that construction machine going. And what you consider to be your portion as a business, I look at lending as a business. I want us to be in a position to where we lend to ourselves. So the same fees that we looked up, that we pay out of our community, Henry, stays in our community. Those same fees. I am the person that says, I think it's crazy for us to condition ourselves to say in our communities we should not own liquor stores. That's crazy. Why? Because you're gonna have liquor stores.
Right.
The liquor stores pays taxes, property taxes, and it pays sales tax, all of which are huge in supporting a community, your neighborhood. And if we own the liquor store, I wouldn't put it out there as Jay's Liquor, but if I own the liquor store and I call it Gaston's Quick Stop or whatever, yes, I can support a little league football team by buying their jersey. That's not going to happen now because we don't own the liquor store. You see, so those are the things that I say. If I'm lending, I don't mind lending to companies and businesses that in turn build in the community, hire our people, pay decent wages. It's a perfect economic metaphor.
You're right.
So what position do you see us in? I see us ready to rock and roll. Do you see any problems we may have right now? Issues we should address before we start building?
I believe with every great entity, organization, of power, I believe there are boundaries and rules and policies created. I don't think that we have laid that out or even attempted to create some policies like I feel like we should. And it doesn't have to be very, very, how can I say, it doesn't have to be I don't know, two laws, rules that restrict us too much, but it does have to have some type of boundaries because we are asking the general contractors to, I guess, lower their prices in an industry that pays their bills in a sense. And depending on how much is lowered, it's a chance that they might not even be making any money. So as I was speaking with one of the GCs, I let them know, hey, look, this is how we're gonna do it. I make sure that you get some money, to stay breathing and living, up front. But we're gonna have to drop that price, completely, in order for us to. This need to be more of a partnership between the developer and the general contractor, not a service, and so I have a meeting with one of them this coming Tuesday, and we're gonna sit down and go over that. So I think the rules, just the rules and the rule, just some type of policies, even if it's just 10 commandments, 5 to 10 commandments, this is this. I honestly believe that when you set rules and policies and boundaries, it just make everybody feel better. Everybody feel like they're playing the same game They know the rules to the game. Every good game has rules and policies to it, and it can create competitiveness. It can create positive competitiveness within and plus competitiveness against our opponents. So we can create that world between us if we create the rules and those policies, and that's just my opinion.
I agree with you. And as with most games that have rules and referees, I also believe we have to ensure that we're talking to all the players. So we still have to understand it's not just the general contractors, it's the subcontractors too.
Right.
So if you have access to all the players and you ask them their concerns and their needs, now we are being transparent and we have a shot at leveraging what we do have to serve a portion or to meet a portion of each player's needs or address their concerns. You see, so that is what I'm trying to get us to say we can't operate in those silos. We actually have to say, electrician, why do you need 9,000? Because that's what I get. Okay, well, your 9,000 won't allow the whole project to work. So you, the HVAC, the plumber, the fee that the labor charge that you have won't allow the entire process to work in this neighborhood. And then they're going to say, well, why? And they're going to say, why? And we're going to explain to them because in this neighborhood, you can't get the right appraisal. And so they'll tell us to do everything we can on our end to get them whole, and we'll do everything. And then they say, well, Mr. Gass, why don't you just bring in some grants? And I paused them and said, well, as soon as we bring in a grant, you're no longer guaranteed the project anyway, because when we bring in the grants require us to put this out for bid. And they have to have this, and they have to have that. So the machine doesn't even get rolling with you on board. It can be anyone on board. So we're trying to do this for us, by us. So we bring all the players to the table. We find out what their real concerns are, what their real needs are, and we meet those needs and address a portion of those concerns. I think we have a chance to make this rock and roll.
Right. Definitely. So I know this week I would be calling a lot of the subs that I do have in mind, at least, and go from there. But I do need that list of all the subs that we should be calling, which I know majority of them, but I'm, to be honest, I like stuff in that manner where we all have either the same checklist or we all have the same numbers. I just like stuff compatible, in sync, so that would be great. I don't know, we talked about it, but if you have a list of the subs that we all should, look for, then that'd be great too. Send it over to me and I can pass it to the other ones, or either if it goes in the group that we all have together, that'd be great as well too.
Yeah, that's definitely where we start with. We're transparent with the material cost. We're not going to upcharge that. And then we all discuss the labor cost. Because at the end of the day, the majority of our GCs don't get in there and do all the work. So a lot of them are dependent